Now moving forward, Rolex warranties, there is this rumor that will not die that's been on the internet for the last, I'd say, 2 months, to the effect that Rolex warranties are now non-transferrable. We have, through Govberg, which is an authorized dealer of Rolex, we have debunked this.
What Rolex won't do, Rolex will not warranty anything from a third party. So if they won't gray market, anything like that, Rolex will not honor the warranty. You have to go through an AD. And you cannot, again, if you buy the watch, it's very delicate how you treat Rolex and how Rolex handles their warranties, because I'm being very delicate how I answer the question as well. Because Rolex is one of the brands that you just have to be very careful with. If you buy a Rolex from us, we'll do the warranty work. That's pretty much how we look at it.
Yeah.
If the watch is under warranty, you're better off buying that watch through an AD. Just because to keep that warranty, because they're very strict on gray markets and everything else, and secondhand.
Yeah, so it's important to note that we have seen a pattern emerging in the mainstream of watchmaking, so by that I mean Omega and Rolex, of dealers asking specifically for a bill of sale or a receipt.
Yeah, they want to see a bill of sale.
So it could be conceivable that if you bought a Rolex and gave it to someone else and the warranty card were not filled in that person's name, that without the bill of sale or receipt, the warranty might not be transferable. And this is something we've seen with Omega too.
Omega especially. Omega did it because of the whole Costco. And I can't remember how many years ago it was. Might have been 10 years ago now.
It raged for about a decade.
Yeah, the whole Costco thing where they were buying watches overseas and importing the watches, and Costco was selling the watches. And Omega does not have to grant the warranty, because that watch was bought and sold, and it's not the original owner. And Costco ended up being the original owner. And I haven't read the results of that. And like I said, it's probably 10 years. The Supreme Court came out with
probably 10 years from the time that started. You want to look it up online?
You can.
It's Swatch Group versus Costco, and it was a landmark. Basically, it was all about gray marketeering, trans-shipping, and ultimately whether a brand, Swatch in this case, retained control over its trademarks in every subsequent sale. It was kind of technical. Costco sort of came out ahead, but the shakeout for consumer is that Omega is increasingly strict, the entire Swatch Group, about asking for a bill of sale or a receipt, and that goes for Rolex as well.
Yeah, again, Omega has a very good warranty. They have a long warranty, but they're also, it's really non-transferable though, as far as their warranty without a bill of sale.
Yeah, so keep all your records, even if you're just given the watch as a gift, perhaps especially if you're given the watch as a gift. Now, continuing to bust our myths or confirm, some things are true, we have a myth that will not die, and it has some grounding in truth, but Rolex prices increase yearly. We're going to qualify this one as false with some clarification. Mike, how do Rolex prices increase?
Rolex prices, you see Rolex prices increase, it's number one, it goes by market. Number two, it goes by the strength of the Swiss franc, and it also goes by the price of the precious metal that's used to construct the watches.
Yeah.
So they take a lot of things into variance as far as the Rolex pricing.
And this is important to note. They will adjust prices regionally. Like for instance, we had Brexit. It hasn't happened yet, but it's on the way. The pound fell. As the pound fell, all of a sudden, if you looked at Rolex inventory that was already in England, if you were on the continent or you were abroad elsewhere, suddenly it becomes very cheap to buy a Rolex in England and ship it abroad using a foreign currency. So Rolex moved rapidly to adjust prices to prevent trans-shipping. So that's one case of Rolex adjusting prices regionally. And the idea that they increase prices every year, that's also not true. It sometimes seems that way, but there is an old saw that Rolex increases prices by 10% every year. If you look at the average trend, in some cases, for some models, that's true, but like Mike says, it also, in some cases, varies per the material composition of the watch. Precious metal is going to change more than steel when they change, which is not yearly and not globally.
Yeah, they'll come with a price increase for all gold models. They'll come with a price increase for all steel models. They'll do complications. So they do it in sections. It's not an across the board price increase. You're not going to be a price decrease, but it's not going to be an across the board price increase when it comes to Rolex.